now. Okay, great. Guys, let me know how you guys are feeling today. Drop some fire emojis in the chat. How are you guys doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Monday, guys. Monday is literally my favorite day because it's literally like a brand new start. So, guys, you guys should be very excited. It's a brand new week. Happy new week. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. I hope you guys are doing well. So as usual, we're going to get straight into the information. Okay, we're going to get straight into the information. I know there's been a lot of updates so far, as I mentioned last week with regards to SwipeCoin. So we're definitely going to get straight into that. So I hope you guys are all extremely excited. I hope you guys are all extremely pumped. But before I go into the information, I just want to know if there is anyone who is new on the call. As usual, I just want to know who are my newbies on the call, just so I know how fast I need to go. If you're new, just type a new in the chat, just so I know how fast I need to go, how slow I need to go, or if everybody is, you know, has done this before. So if you're new, drop a new in the chat. Okay, great. So we got a couple of new people. Okay, great. Well, all my new people, welcome. Congratulations on being a part of the academy. If you guys don't know me, my name is Alicia Marie. I've been trading for a while now. I've been trading for about 6 years. I've been trading cryptocurrency for almost 2 years now. And I've been leveraging an amazing strategy called SwipeCoin. Okay, so I'm going to be showing all of you guys exactly how to equip yourself to become highly profitable in crypto through SwipeCoin. Okay, so especially for my new people, because I know a lot of you are very brand new for this. I definitely want to make sure we get into the information. So make sure you have your pens, your papers, make sure you're taking notes. Don't forget to drop your questions in the chat. I will be checking the chat periodically to answer any questions. So please don't be afraid to ask questions, okay? Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what I'm here for. I'm definitely going to be going through the questions throughout the session, okay? But before we continue, guys, if you are brand new, okay, if you are completely new, I need you to go into your app store or your Google Play Store or whatever store that you use to download apps and download the SwipeCoin app, okay? I need you all to download the SwipeCoin app, okay? And I also need you to download MetaTrader 4. Okay, so that's 2 apps that I need you to go and download, because the reason I ask you to download that straight away is because what I like for you to do is follow along with me so that the information is not confusing. So you can download the app and then literally follow along exactly what I'm doing so it's not confusing for you. Okay, so as I was saying, guys, definitely just download that app. Do it now, please, and we will continue. But as I said, I know a lot of people have messaged me with regards to the changes with just how to take the trades, how to read and interpret the information. So I'm definitely going to go into that today. So don't worry about it if you've been confused. And again, not only am I going to go into it today, I'm going to keep going over it just to make sure you guys are understanding, because it's a new thing that they've brought in. And I definitely want to make sure you guys are fully equipped to be able to actually take those trades. Okay, so guys, whilst you're downloading that app, let me just explain to you a little bit about SwipeCoin. So what SwipeCoin actually allows you to do is it allows you to identify opportunities for you to scale into through exchange trading, opportunities for you to leverage into through leverage trading, and also opportunities for you to scalp, right? So it allows you to scalp, do exchange trading, and also do leverage trading. So it allows you to like literally secure the bag in 3 ways. Okay, so that is why so many people have been allowed to multiply the income through SwipeCoin. Okay, so that is why you definitely need to make sure you've downloaded those 2 apps, right? And I'm going to go through and show you the information as well. But before I continue, has anyone been confused about the new changes with how the trade ideas are being released? Let me know if you've been confused about it. How are you guys feeling about it? Have you been able to take some trades with it, or have you guys been unsure? Is there anyone who is completely unsure about the information that is being received through the trade ideas? Let me know in the chat. Also make sure that you are muted as you come in, please. Okay, so a couple of people. Okay, cool, cool. I just wanted to know if the information was clear enough for everybody or, okay, so SwipeCoin's new. Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to know if the information was clear enough for everybody, just so I can see how far into the information I need to go. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So everybody who I've told to download the SwipeCoin app should have now downloaded it by now, and also MetaTrader 4. But I'm going to first go into MetaTrader 4. Okay, so if you have downloaded the MetaTrader 4, if you have now downloaded the MetaTrader 4, we're going to go ahead and open up that app, because what I want to do is explain to you how MetaTrader 4 works. And also, guys, I definitely want to go into exchange trading, leverage trading, and scalper trading as well. So I'm just going to be explaining briefly those things without confusing you guys too much. So definitely please make sure that you're taking notes, you're paying attention, and also drop your questions in the chat so you can make sure that you're following along. But the first thing that you need to do before you even get to the stage where you're going to be taking any SwipeCoin trades is you need to be able to fund your account, okay? So you want to fund your live account. If anybody is ready to fund up their live account but doesn't know how to do so, I will be dropping the video that I've done for that already after this session, okay? But for now, I'm going to show you guys how to set up a demo account. So if for anybody who's new, and if you're following along, do follow along and set up your demo account as well, so that you can get familiar with the platform and how to trade on the platform as well, okay? So how you do that is you open up your MetaTrader 4 app, right? So once you've downloaded your MetaTrader 4 app and you open it up, this is the screen that you will see, okay? You see a quotes page, right? In order for you to set up your demo account, you're going to press settings, which is the icon on the far right, and then you're going to press new account, open demo account, and then where it says servers, you're going to type in HUGO'S way, right? So it should just pop up when you type the first 3 letters. You're going to type in HUGO'S way and you're going to select it, right? Then you're going to enter in your name, phone number, email. I don't really think it's required. I don't think I've ever had to do that. So you don't have to if you don't want to. But, you know, it's just to keep a log of your personal information. And then you're going to select your leverage. Okay, so I'm just going to explain briefly a little bit about what leverage is, okay? Because obviously, as I explained, right, we've spoken about leverage trading. I've mentioned leverage trading, and I've mentioned it a number of times in the prior sessions. So again, if you guys are taking notes, please just write a heading that says leverage trading, because I'm going to specifically talk about leverage trading and the leverage trade ideas that we get sent in the SwipeCoin app, right? So as I said before, if you guys are confused, let me know in the chat and I will go through the questions, right? So what you want to do when you get to this section is select your leverage, right? And you're also going to do this when you're funding up your live account. So it's important for you to understand what leverage means, right? So having a leverage in trading just allows you to open larger position sizes in the market, right? Because the market that we are trading in is like literally, I believe it's a $7 trillion a day market. And the crypto market is something else. Like the crypto market is something else. It's consistently increasing in demand every single day. So because it's increasing in demand, there's so much money to be traded in the market, not just the crypto market, but in the Forex market, the foreign exchange market. We need to be able to trade with larger amounts. And that is because it's not just us that trade in the markets. It's institutions, it's governments, it's companies, right? It's large companies that work and trade in those markets. And I work for one of those companies that trade in these types of markets. And they don't trade with small amounts of money. They trade with large amounts of money, because those large amounts of money allow you to move the market. Okay, so that's just a bit of back history, right? So because there are large players in the market, a small little retail trader like us are not going to make moves in the market. It's going to be difficult to make a profit in the market, right? And that is where leverage trading comes in. It allows the retail traders' capital to be multiplied so that you can make bigger moves in the market and thus make bigger profits, okay? So how that would work is, let's say, for example, you decide to fund up your account with $1,000, no, let's say you funded up with $100, right? Let's just keep it simple. You funded up your account with $100. If you then decided to choose a leverage of 1 to 100, like this one, if you decided to choose a leverage of 1 to 100, what that means is that you're now able to open positions of up to $10,000 in the market, even though you have $100. So that doesn't mean you have $10,000, right? It just means that the value of your position is $10,000, right? And the reason that that is there, as I said, is because it allows retail traders with smaller capital to make bigger moves in the market and thus allow them to make a profit, okay? So it's that simple. That's literally why we use leverage, okay? So it allows you to make a bigger profit, but it also amplifies your losses. So you want to be very careful when you're using a leverage. You don't want to use a leverage that's too high, okay? So if you're trading with $100, you probably wouldn't use a leverage of 1 to 100 because that's quite high. It, as I said, it amplifies your losses. So you don't want to be at risk of losing too much money, but you just want to have enough that you're not making such a little amount of money, okay? But again, choosing a leverage is completely up to you. You can choose whatever leverage that you want to choose, but as long as you're fully informed of what the implications of a high leverage or a low leverage is, then that's absolutely fine. I mean, if it was me and I was funding up with $250 to $500, a good leverage is between 100 and 200. Anything more than $500, you can do about 200, but I feel like anything higher than 200 is a bit excessive, okay? So I'm just going to select the leverage of 1 to 100, and then the deposit amount is going to be 3,000, okay? And then once you've selected whatever you want, as I don't think I explained, you can pick whatever you want if you want to, because this is a demo account. So once you've selected what you want, you're going to press register, okay? Then you can take note of this information if you want to. It's completely up to you. And then press done, right? And then once you've pressed done, now you've completely set up your Hugo's Way demo account, right? You've got a brand new demo account that is set up, okay? So is everybody with me? Let me know if you have any questions. Just gonna double check the chat. How to know a good broker? The one who doesn't manipulate traders trading, nor their withdrawal delays or issues with withdrawals and the rest about brokers. So with regards to brokers, I use Hugo's Way. That's the broker that I use because I've done my research and I've decided that this is the broker that I want to use. I highly recommend that you do your research about what brokers to use because there are different brokers in different countries, and some countries don't allow you to use Hugo's Way. So definitely please research the types of brokers that you want to use. Okay, so let's go into it. Let's get a clear picture of MetaTrader 4. So MetaTrader 4 is a trading app, right? It allows you to place trades. That's literally what MetaTrader 4 is. Please don't confuse MetaTrader 4 with a broker, with a binary broker, with all of these different things. It is not that. It is literally just the vehicle that you use to place trades, okay? You can attach any broker to MetaTrader 4. That doesn't make MetaTrader 4 the broker, okay? So that's what MetaTrader 4 is. It's a trading app allowing you to place trades, okay? So let's kind of go through what we're seeing here, okay? So the first screen that we see is our quotes page. This is where you see all the pairs that you can trade with. And if you want to add any extra pairs, which I would recommend you do, you press the plus icon on the top right-hand side of the screen, okay? So that allows you to add the pairs that we trade with. If you press cryptos at the bottom, the pairs that we usually trade with on SwipeCoin for leverage trading is ETH-USD, which is Ethereum to the US dollar, BTC USD, which is Bitcoin US dollar, and XRP USD at the bottom, which is Ripple, okay? And then press done. So now you've got the main cryptos on your quotes page. It's a little bit delayed on my screen. So we should be on the main quotes page if you guys are following along, okay? So that's what we see on the main quotes page. Now, the next icon along is called the chart. So now with all the changes that has gone on, we're going to be using this icon a lot more frequently. We're going to be using the chart more frequently, because what we're really going to be doing is just applying the knowledge that we're learning anyways. So this is where you see the price action. This is literally where you see the price action. So on the right hand side, where you see all the numbers, that is the price right now. So GBP JPY, this is the chart this is. GBP JPY is currently at 156.340. That's the price, right? So this is where you see the price. You can analyze on this chart, mark up your entry points and etc. The top left hand side where you see M15, this is where we change our time frames. Okay, so if you select it, press M1, that changes it to the M1 time frame, which stands for 1 minute. Okay, if you change it to M30, that's a 30-minute time frame, right? If you change it to H1, 1 hour time frame, and then we've got D1, 1 day time frame, W1, which is 1 week. Okay, and what that really means is every single one of those candles that you see, they are worth whatever time frame you select. So if you select the 1 hour time frame, okay, if you select H1, that means that every single one of these candles, whether they're green or red, took 1 hour to make. So let's zoom in on one. So this, the newest candle that we're on, this little green one, right? If you can see this little green candle that is moving up and down, this candle started at 8 p.m., right? And at 9 p.m., then that candle is going to close and a brand new one is going to open up. So that's what it means when you change the time frame. It just changes how long that each of these candles were made, right? So each of these candles are worth 1 hour, were made in 1 hour. Okay, so at the top panel, right, we've got the target looking icon in the middle. That just allows us to navigate ourselves around the page, right? So if you press that, you can navigate yourself around the page, and then you can kind of see prices on the right hand and the left hand side. Okay, the next icon along, which is the F looking icon, this is where you can see your indicators. Okay, so you can add some indicators. If you press main window, if you're somebody who likes to analyze the market on MetaTrader 4, you can change the indicators. You can add some, change their what do you call it, their credentials. So you can change the period, you can change the shift, like literally you can change as many indicators that's on this page, right? The next icon along is the shapes icon, okay? And this is where I feel like we're going to be using this a lot more often, especially for this type of explanation. We're going to be using this a lot more often. So you can see some lines here, right? If you tap the horizontal line, tap the chart, I don't know why it's not coming up. You tap the horizontal line, tap the chart, okay, and then the line should appear, okay? My phone's moving very slow, but you get the picture. There you go, tap the horizontal line, tap the chart, then a line appears, okay? So if you click where the price is, you can move that line up and down, and then the top left-hand side, you can see a zoom in image of the price that you're looking at. So that will help you to navigate what type of price that you're trying to aim for, okay? Right. And then if you press the trade icon, which is next along, it's literally the same icon as the trade icon at the bottom. So it will take you to the same trade page. It's just that if you press trade here, it will let you trade on this pair. But if you go back and press trade at the bottom, then you can see your actual trade page. So you can see your balance, your equity, your margin, your free margin, and your margin level percentage. And also this is where you'll see all of your open trades, right? You go into the history, you can see all the history of all of your trades. Obviously, we just funded this account just now, so there's no history of trades, but this is where you would see it. And then obviously you've got your settings where you can toggle your preferences and features, etc. So that is literally it for the SwipeCoin. This is, for MetaTrader 4, that's literally what you're looking at. You want to know how this app works. So again, if you're brand new, I highly recommend navigating yourself around this app so you can get comfortable with using it and get comfortable with placing trades and etc. But I really want to get into the changes with SwipeCoin. So if there are any questions on MetaTrader 4, please let me know. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get into the information with SwipeCoin. Okay. Okay, great. I'm assuming there's no questions. Cool. So if you have now downloaded the SwipeCoin app, make sure you go ahead and open up the app, and you have to sign in and accept the agreements and etc. So yeah, do make sure you do that. I'm going to explain how to close a trade from MetaTrader 4, so don't worry about that. Lot size, I will explain that as well. Okay. Once we've actually taken a trade, I'll go through what you need to be doing before you enter a trade. So we'll go through lot size, so don't worry too much about that. I would like to know how to do live trade having funded my account. Okay, well, that's what you're here for. We're going to go through live trading. We're going to show you exactly how to take the trades. So once you've now funded your account and you're equipped with how to actually take the trades, you can go ahead and take the trades. Great. Okay, so we've just had a trade come out by Nick Gomez a day ago. Is that the most recent one? Yeah, so that's the most recent trade that came out 1 day ago, okay? So the first thing that you really want to do when you're seeing the SwipeCoin app is you need to make sure your notifications are on, okay? So how you do that, if your notifications are not automatically on, you go onto the top left-hand side of your screen, press those 3 lines, and then go to notification settings, and then all of these notifications need to be on. These all need to be on because you don't want to miss any opportunities to take a trade. I mean, as I said here, this app allows you to see not only exchange trade ideas, but leverage ideas and scalper ideas. So that's 3 different types of trading the crypto market that it allows you to see. Okay, so you definitely want to be able to receive notifications for all of those different trade ideas. Okay, so the first thing you see, okay, this trade came out a day ago. So you're probably thinking, all right, can we take this trade? The first thing you want to do, aside from obviously turning your notifications on, is checking the chat, right? So we've got a chat icon on the right-hand side of the screen, a little chat icon. If you select that icon, right, it's going to show you some updates on the trade. And the best thing about the chat icon is as soon as an educator has released a trade idea, that educator is following that trade idea for you. So you don't have to be concerned about what's happening as soon as you've opened the trade, because the educator is following the trade for you. So all you really need to do is make sure that you're staying active and having a look at the chat. If you're not in the Telegram group chat, I'm going to send the link for that so you can join the Telegram group chat. But you just want to make sure you're active and you're looking at what the updates are so you know what's going on in the trade without even having to check your MetaTrader 4 app. Okay, so if we look at the most recent update, it was from Nick Gomez saying XRP USD remains valid unless a 4-hour close or open below prior 4-hour local low. So I'm going to explain that if anyone is unsure what that means. But what he's saying essentially is that this trade idea is active. If anybody attempted to take the XRP USD trade idea, you would have noticed that it was kind of dilly-dallying in the area. And that's why Nick Gomez is updating us to let us know the trade idea is still valid. So if you haven't entered, you can enter it now. You can enter in as long as it follows the parameters. So if you haven't entered, you can still enter. And if you have entered, just know that this trade idea is still valid. We're still expecting it to go the way that we predicted it to go, right? So that's what the chat is good for, because it's giving you updates on what to do, because this trade idea came out 1 day ago. So you're probably thinking, can I still take this trade? And if you're seeing this came out at 4:58 or 5 p.m. saying that essentially this trade idea is still valid as long as you're still following the parameters. And usually what you'll find is that some of these educators are updating about trades that happened maybe a week ago. Danny Paran is referring to a BTC USD trade, but I don't know when this trade came out, but I know that it's not a recent trade. And if you do see an educator referring to a trade that's happened way before and you're not sure where to find it, we'll press the back button, press those 3 lines, So you press the back button, press the 3 lines, and then you're going to go to exchange trade ideas. Okay. So you go to exchange ideas, and then you can see a history of all the trades that were released, right? And you can see, oh, sorry, not exchange ideas. Sorry, guys. You go to leverage ideas, and you can see all the history of the trades that were released. And you can see Danny Paran released that trade idea on the 14th of January. So a few days ago, and he's still referring to it. So you can still, at that point that he released that message, you can still take those trades, okay? So the chat is really, really good. It's really, really ideal, okay? So, right. So we've identified now that this trade at 5 p.m. was still marked as valid. So now we want to know, how do we actually get into this trade with all the changes that's happened? Okay, so what we have here, what we're actually going to be using to get into this trade is the notes and the market images. Okay, so if you guys are taking notes, make sure you write in capitals, notes and market images, because those are the two most important things now when you're taking a trade. It's the notes and the market images. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at as soon as we open up this trade is, first of all, we want to know what pair we're taking. It's XRP-USD, right? We can see the time frame. This time frame is H4. That means it was analyzed on the 4-hour time frame, right? It was analyzed on the 4-hour time frame, and that's where this educator got this idea from. Order type, right? It's a potential buy idea. So that means that we're looking to buy the market when it gets to this particular entry point. The idea type is a leverage idea. As I said, we've got leverage ideas, exchange ideas, and scalper ideas. So it's good to know what type of idea we're looking at. Okay, so now we know the general information. Now we want to take a look at the notes. And the note says potential buy idea. Zones/resistance covered on chart looking for new highs for XRP. Invalidation level will be the last local low on the 4-hour. And then we've got the market images. So really, what we need to take this trade is we need an entry point, we need a stop loss, we need a take profit. So we need 3 things to take this trade. Okay, so how we get that is we look at the market images. So if you expand the market images, which is the images at the top, in case there's anyone who doesn't know, the images at the top. Now, this is where we can see our entry point, our take profits, our 3 resistance levels. Now, please don't be confused by the changes in the terminology. Where you see resistance or you see target zones, that is where we're looking for our take profit, right? So the terminology has changed, but our take profit essentially refers to resistance or target zones, right? And we also have entry zones. So when you see this green box and this arrow, here we're indicating an entry zone. So we're indicating an area within the market that we can enter in, right? And don't worry, guys, I'm going to be going through and showing you guys how it actually works, right? And then when you see these 1, 2, 3 levels in the market, these are the areas where we're going to be entering our take profits, right? It's been termed as resistance or target zones because they're areas in the market that the educator feels as though the trade might either stop or reverse or whatever. But what the case is that we want this to be our target zones, right? So now we know our entry point we're going to find within this green box, right? Our take profit, we're going to find within one of these 3 levels, right? We've got 1, 2, 3. Within one of these 3 levels, we're going to use as our take profit. Now we need to know our stop loss, okay? Because remember, we only need 3 things. So our stop loss. So let's come out of this. The note said the invalidation level will be the last local low on the 4-hour, right? So this is where you really need to use your knowledge. You really need to use the information that you're learning from the academy, right? Because you want to know where is the local low. So the first thing you would need to do if you're doing this on an actual chart is go onto the 4-hour chart and look for the last local low. And what that really means is the last area that was lower than your entry point. Okay, because we're looking for an area that is going to make our trade invalid, right? So if the market moves past the last lowest area, then obviously our trade is invalid. Okay. And what I can see here is that green candle on the left-hand side is the last local low. So our stop loss will be at the end of that green candle, right? So I'm going to show you guys how to actually execute this now. But as long as you understand, when you're opening up this trade, there are 3 things you're looking for, right? You're looking for your entry point, you're looking for your take profit, and you're looking for your stop loss. And the way that you're going to do that is through the notes and the market images, right? You're doing that through the notes and the market images, right? The terminology that we're going to be seeing is invalidation. That's our stop loss. We're going to be seeing zones or resistance. That's our take profit. Okay. So now let's actually try and execute this idea. Again, I believe this trade might be old or it's probably left the zone or not, but we're going to see how it works out. So the first thing you want to do when this trade pops out, obviously you want to check the chat. Then you want to go to MetaTrader 4 because you know we're going to be trading XRP USD, right? So go ahead and tap XRP USD and press chart. Okay, please make sure that you're following along with me so we're all doing this together and you can ask me any questions. Right, so now we've got the right pair. Now we need to go back to the app and we need to take down this time frame because this is where we're going to find our stop loss, guys. So the time frame is H4. So if you remember how to change the time frame, on the top left-hand side of the page, we have H1 and we want H4, right? So we're going to tap that and select H4. Now, every single one of these candles are worth 4 hours, okay? So that's the time frame that we're sticking to because every single one of these candles are worth 4 hours. I think I've already marked out the entry, but I'm going to delete all of these lines here just so we got a fresh page. Amazing. Great. So now we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. Okay. Now we want to go back and we want to find our entry zone, right? So I'm going to expand the market images just by tapping it. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just so I can get a clear idea of where this zone starts and where it ends. Okay. Obviously, if you probably if you're probably doing it on MetaTrader 4, you might be able to get all the numbers. But I know this educator, Nick Gomez, he usually uses whole numbers. So that's probably why it's not as exact. But you can see that roughly this zone starts at 0.756 and ends at 0.78137, right? So if you are taking notes, take note of that number. So the zone starts at 0.756 and then it ends at 0.78137, right? So now you have where your entry point starts and ends. Your entry zone starts and ends. So what we're going to do, go back to MetaTrader 4 and we're going to get those lines out, right? So we're pressing the shapes icon. We get out the horizontal line, tap the chart, and a line appears, right? So you can either scroll on the right-hand side up and down to find the right price, or you can just go back to the shapes icon and you can enter it in. Okay, so what I'm going to enter in is 0.756. Press done. And you can see it's now gone to the right area. I'm going to press the shapes icon again. Press the horizontal line. Tap the chart. And then I'm going to press the shapes icon again. And then I'm just going to change by selecting where it's got the horizontal line. I'm going to change the price to the other end of my zone, which is 0.78137. Great. Okay, so now we can see our point of entry. Now we can actually see where we need to enter into the market. Okay, so the trade idea wants us, the educator wants us to enter into the market within this zone, right? based on what I've illustrated here, guys, are we within this zone? Type a yes or a no in the chat. Let me know, are we in the zone of entry? The educator wants us to enter in the market in this zone. Type a yes or a no if we are in this zone. Yes or a no, guys. Let me know. Are we in this zone? Are we safe to enter into this trade? Right. Okay. So we're safe. We're in the entry zone. We're literally in the entry zone right now. But can you see how much easier it is to see when you just mark it up on your chart? You can clearly see where price is. You can see where price is, and then you can see where your zone is. And price is at 7.76187, and we're within that zone, right? So that's the first thing down, right? We know where our entry point is. The second thing that I said that we need is to know our take profit, right? So let's go back onto the chart. I mean, our take profit is very easily visible. Don't worry, I'm going to go over it again. So if anyone needs me to repeat it, I'm going to do it again anyways. So don't worry. So our take profit, right? Our take profit is pretty easy to see. We can see the first level of take profit is 0.8000. Then we've got the next level is 0.83. So we've got, this is the first level. This is the second level, 0.83000. And then this is the third level, 0.86000. So it's pretty easy to see. You don't even really need to draw the lines if you don't want to. I mean, you can, but you really don't need to, because it's really easy. You can literally just enter it into your phone. But I'm going to do it anyways, just so we can do it. So I'm going to mark out where our entry point, where our take profit 1, 2, and 3 is, right? So we've got 0.8, 0.3, and 0.6. So let's go 0.8, 0.83, and 0.86, just so I'm clear. So let's go to MetaTrader 4. And we're going to, again, press the shape icon, right? We press our horizontal line, and we tap the chart. And then the horizontal line appears, okay? So when the horizontal line appears, you can go back to the shapes icon and you can manually edit the price. So you don't have to slide it up and down. It's just easier. So you select it. And our first take profit was 0.8. Okay. Once you've entered that in, press done. I'm actually going to change the color because I just don't want it to be confusing. I'm going to make it pink. Okay, so that's our first take profit, right? Let's do the next one. You press the shapes icon, press the horizontal line. I think my screen is a bit delayed. So you press the shape icon, you press the horizontal line so we can get the next take profit level. When you tap the chart, it will appear, right? And the next take profit level is 0.83. So we're going to change that to 0.83. Press done. I'm going to stop sharing just so it can refresh. Okay. And if you're following along with me, guys, go to the shapes icon again, press the horizontal line, tap the chart, go back, and then manually edit the price, okay? And our next take profit zone is 0.86, okay? So when you've now marked up your free take profit zones, I'm going to show you exactly what your chart should be looking like. And please, guys, make sure you're doing this as I'm doing it. So it will just make it easier for you to understand. So once you've marked up your entry zone and your take profit zones, this is what your chart should be looking at. We should be on the 4-hour chart, okay? We should have our green entry zone marked out here. And then we've got our 3 pink take profit levels, right? So what we're visually, just so we can explain visually what we're looking at here, is we're entering in the green zone, right? The green zone is the safe zone. We're entering in the green zone, right? Our target levels, which is where we want to come out the trade, our target levels are in pink, those 3 pink lines. We've got 0.8, 0.83, and 0.86. Okay, so now we've got the two things we need. Now we need the third and final thing. The third and final thing that we need, go back to the chart, go back to the trade idea and go onto the notes. Nick Gomez has said, the invalidation level will be the last local low on the 4-hour, right? The last local low. So we're going to go back onto the chart. I highly recommend, guys, that you also study a little bit of price action so that this is really easy for you. And we can see the last local low is what you're looking for is the most recent area that price has moved below your entry price, right? So our entry price is indicated in green, okay? The most recent area that I can see that price was, that price had moved below that, the lowest is this area here, okay? Let me go ahead and, so if you can see that, I know the arrow is a bit small. So that wick right there is the lowest low, okay? That's the lowest, most recent local low. So that, at the end of that is where you would want to put your stop loss, okay? The end of that is where you would want to put your stop loss. And again, when you're placing your stop loss, this is also completely up to you. And the reason why we've now moved into just using market images and notes is to allow you to be more confident in being an independent trader and making more decisions based on what you want to do, right? So you've got an option to use a stop loss that is either at the end of this wick, at the middle of the wick, at the top of the wick, which is at the bottom of the candle body, or anywhere in which you wish, depending on how tight you want to be with your risk, right? But let's just stick to what Nick Gomez has advised, and that's, you know, the last local low. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that out with a line as well, right? So go and get your horizontal line, just tap the bottom of that, and I'm going to make it red just so we know that this is a stop loss. Okay. Now, this is what your chart really should be looking like. We have our green entry zone, which is our safe zone. We've got our take profit 1, 2, and 3 as indicated with the pink lines. And we've got our red line, which is telling us that this is our stop loss, okay? So this is literally, you've literally, by this point, you've, you know, mastered trying to mark up the charts, mark up your entries. And you've pretty much set up your trade for entry. And guess what? We're still within the entry zone. If you were doing this yourself, it would be a lot faster, but you're still within the entry zone, so you're still safe to take the trade. So now we've got all of our numbers. Now we can go ahead and place the trade, okay? So what we've got here is our entry zone. Obviously, we're within the entry zone, so we can go ahead and enter the market now, right? So how you do that is you press trade, top right-hand corner. And this is what you're looking at when you're looking at the trade page. Now you're ready to open up your trade. And I'm going to go top down so you're fully aware of what you're looking at on this trade page, right? So we've got market execution. That means that we're taking a trade from the market price. And the reason why we're taking this trade at market price is because it's within our zone, right? We don't have to set up any targets in the future. We don't need to do that. We're just taking the trade within the market price, okay? So we're selecting market execution, right? Now we've got the next line is our lot sizes. This is how much we're going to be risking in the market, okay? So really and truly, if you're trading with anything less than $250, I would highly recommend sticking to a 0.01 lot size, right? So how that looks is if you just delete that and then put 0.1, so your lot size should look like this, 0.01. If you wanted to add or take away, you can literally just enter it in yourself. But I highly recommend if you have just started trading, if you're brand new, or if you're trading with any less than $250 or pounds, please trade with 0.01 lot size. It's definitely the safest bet. It reduces your risk and your exposure in the market, right? 0.01 lot size is called a micro lot. right? And that's literally the smallest lot size that you can have. And it, as I said, it saves you from being too exposed in the market, and still you're able to get good profits on a 0.01 lot size. So definitely stick to that. Okay, so that's what you're looking at with your lot sizes, right? The next thing you're going to enter is your stop loss and your take profit. Okay, so our stop loss, can anyone remember, or if anybody has marked up their chart, can someone tell me what the take profit is? Somebody who has marked up their chart or is following along, to be honest, all of you should have been marking up your chart. But if anybody remembers what the take profit is, or one of them, any one of them, just drop it in the chat so I don't have to go back to the chart. Okay, but the stop loss, I believe, was 0.7. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So the take profit is 0.8, right? Okay, so we've got our take profit, our stop loss set up. So once you've got your take profit set up, you've got your stop loss set up, and you've got your 0.1 lot size, you've got the right risk, okay? You want to make sure that you have checked that you're going to be either selling or buying. This is a buy idea. So now everything is correct. We're happy with everything. We're going to go ahead and press buy, right? And now we've entered the market. So as soon as you buy in the market, this is what it will look like, okay? You'll automatically be in a negative because of something called the spread, right? Because of something called the spread. So something called the spread, that's literally an alarm to remind me to study. So guys, studying is very real. You guys need to make sure you stick with the studying, because that will make all of this a whole lot easier, right? I'm going to go through some videos and some material that you guys can look for at the end of this session, okay? But as soon as you enter into your trade, you're automatically going to be in a negative because you have to essentially pay back the spread. And the spread, a good way to explain the spread is literally, imagine you have a chunk of Bitcoin, but let's just say your chunk of Bitcoin is a pen, right? So you have an asset. Your asset is this pen, okay? And somebody wants to buy your pen, but you're a broker. You want to sell this pen. You want to sell this pen. You want to make some money from it, right? And this pen, its market value is £1. It's not, but this pen's market value is £1, right? Somebody else wants to buy it on the market, but you want to sell it to them for £2. So the difference between the actual price and the price that you're selling it in the market is 1, right? Because someone wants to buy it. You're selling it for £2, but it's actually £1. So the difference between those two prices is the spread, and you would have to make up that money when you get into the market, right? So as soon as you get into the market, you have to make up the money on the spread, and that's why you're automatically in a negative. So you definitely, before you get into the market, you want to be able to consider the spread. You want to be able to consider how long you want to be in a drawdown for before you actually make back up the money that you have lost from being in a negative spread, right? And XRP, out of all the cryptos that we trade with on the SwipeCoin app, has the lowest spread. So it's one of the most safest pairs if you're trading with a smaller amount of money, right? So that is how you get into the trade, guys. That is exactly how you get into the trade. I'm going to go and show this whole thing all over again. We're going to do it all over again so that anyone who wasn't following along can get the opportunity to follow along. But we're going to do that all over again. But now you're in this trade, you may want to close this trade, or maybe you want to stay in it. You don't want to wait for it to get to your take profit or your stop loss or whatever, because now we're in a negative. If anybody wants to see how to close a trade, you just swipe the trade to the left, press the tick icon, and then you press close with a loss, and that will automatically close your trade, right? If you wanted to take partials, which means close part of the trade, first of all, you'd have to have more than 0.01 lot size in the market. But you press this pencil icon, and it allows you, the pencil icon allows you to change your stop loss and take profit if you wanted to. You swipe to the left, press the tick icon, and you can just change the lot size at the top to how much of the trade you want to close. and that allows you to close a part of the trade instead of the whole of the trade. But again, this is the smallest lot size, so you can't close part of this trade. You either close the whole thing or not at all, right? So that's it, guys. I'm going to go over this all over again, but before I do, I'm going to go ahead and check the chat just to see if there are any questions. So if you haven't dropped your question in the chat, please do now, because I'm looking through the chat now. Okay. So what does the invalidation level mean? Okay, so your invalidation level, like I explained, is essentially your stop loss. What it actually means is that what the educator is essentially saying is that this trade idea is, let's say, for example, going up. This trade idea is a buy. We believe that this trade is going to buy. We believe that the market is going to increase, right? Now, in the event that the market starts to reverse, that doesn't mean to say that that trade idea is completely invalid, right? But if it reverses to a point that's past a certain price point, that's when the trade becomes invalid, right? So that's essentially what the invalidation level means. It's a level in which if the market hits, that trade idea is no longer valid. We don't want to take that trade anymore, okay? So that's what invalidation level means. How much does a 0.01 lot size equate to in terms of percentage of your account or USD? So it completely depends on the amount of money that is in your account, as well as the leverage that you use. So depending on how much you funded up with and how much leverage you've used, that will determine how much profit that you would make or how much you would lose, for example, on a 0.01 lot size. So definitely check the leverage that you've used. And then you'll be able to calculate how much it would equate to. So yeah, it depends on your leverage and how much money you have in your account, okay? Broker already took his or her swap. That's why the difference in dollars. Not sure if that was a question. Just curious, if it reaches the first take profit, what happens? Do you move it to the second take profit? So if it hits the first take profit, and that's the take profit you set up, then your trade will be closed. So you see, like here, I'm not sure if this was take profit 1 or 2, 0.8. That was take profit 1, right? So if this trade now buys and hits our first pink level, then our trade will automatically close, because I have told the broker, by putting a stop loss and a take profit, I've told the broker that if the trade continues to buy up into this level, take me out of the market, because I'm happy with my profits and that's it. So that's what that means. By putting a stop loss, by putting a take profit, you're essentially telling the broker, I want to come out of the market at this price. So if it hits your first take profit, your trade will automatically be closed. Unless you have not set a take profit and it hits that level, then nothing will happen. You'll just still be in the market unless you manually close it. Can you briefly go over the setting up of MetaTrader 4? What do you mean, setting up the broker? Or what everything means? What do you mean by that, Samuel? Please explain HUGO'S Way in conjunction with MetaTrader 4 app and account funding. So HUGO'S Way is an actual broker, right? Remember I said MetaTrader 4 is just an app. HUGO'S Way is a broker, right? So it's completely different, but you can use MetaTrader 4 to trade with HUGO'S Way, okay? So that's literally what it is. HUGO'S Way is the actual broker. So they supply the prices, they supply the assets that you can trade with, they supply all of that stuff, they hold your money and all of that stuff. But MetaTrader 4 is literally what you use to place the trades, okay? So that's literally the connection. What determines the choice of currency pair to consider when placing a trade? So the currency pairs that we take with the SwipeCoin leverage ideas are the ideas that we see that we are receiving from the educators. So usually the educators produce ideas from XRP USD, BTC USD, and ETH USD. So those are the currency pairs that we would be trading with for leverage ideas. If you wanted to take exchange ideas, there are different assets that you'd be investing in. If you were taking scalper ideas, then it's just Ethereum and it's just Bitcoin. Oh, okay. Let me read your question again. Can you briefly go over the setting up of MetaTrader 4? Yeah, so how to set up your demo account, guys. Press the settings app settings icon, press new account, open a demo account, and then if you type in HUG, it will pop up with Hugo's Way. Click that. Right, so you click that. As soon as you click it, then it will open up with asking you for your information. You can either enter that information or not. Set your leverage, set your deposit amount, and press register. Really, really simple, really easy. If you want to fund your live account, I will drop a video at the end in the main group chats. So your mentor can send that over if you're not in the main group chat. So after following everything that you said, is it possible to lose your initial deposit? So, okay, that's a good question. So what I always say, guys, you need to make sure that you are taking all the information into account and making an informed decision. So the first thing that you need to do to make sure you're being risk adverse is sticking to your lot size, right? Don't get excited when you start to see money. When you start to see yourself in the blue, don't get excited and start to take large positions, because that is what will make you lose your initial deposit just by over leveraging. You can make a good sizable income just by sticking to a 0.1 lot size and growing your account. And then once you've grown your account on a 0.1, increase yourself to a 0.2. But please don't put yourself in the market to risk an amount of money that you're not willing to risk, right? You always want to make sure that your risk to reward is making sense, right? You want to make sure that you're happy to earn a certain amount of money, but if the market does reverse on you, you're happy to lose this amount of money. So you definitely need to make sure you stick into your risk. You want to stick to the parameters, okay? Because if you are trading with the trade ideas and you've never traded before, don't go and do your own thing. Stick to the parameters. Don't enter the market outside of your zones. Make sure you stick to your zones. And even if the market happens to reverse and trigger your stop loss, then you wouldn't have lost your entire investment. You wouldn't have lost too much money, right? That's why we have stop losses in place. Your stop loss and your take profit is literally what saves you from staying in the market too long and losing too much money, right? If the market happens to reverse. Because what can happen if people just trading in the market with no parameters, no stop loss, no take profit, first of all, you may forget that you've done that, and then you can end up losing some money. Second of all, you have no discipline with that. So you don't really know at which point you're ready to come out of the market because you're happy with your profits, or come out the market because you're not willing to lose any more money. So you definitely need to just make sure you're sticking to your risk, stick to the parameters, don't over leverage, don't take too many positions in the market, right? And also do your research, do make sure you educate yourself using the materials that's in the academy, right? Okay, no worries. I know you went over this, but it was a bit quick. If your take profit 1 has been hit, the trade closes. But if you want take profit 2 or take profit 3, do you have to re-enter those trades, or do you enter the trade 3 times? Okay, so again, you don't want to take too many trades in the market. It's completely up to you what take profit you choose. It's not by force for you to use take profit 1, 2, and 3. You can literally just choose whatever you want. If you're very risk adverse, 9 times out of 10, you'll just choose take profit 1, make the pips that you want to make, and then leave the market as that. But if you wanted to use all 3 take profits, you would have to open more than 1 position, and each of those positions would have to have take profit 1, the next one take profit 2, the next one take profit 3. Okay, but if you just have 1 trade that has take profit 1, as soon as the market hits take profit 1, your position will be closed, right? And then there's no re-entering to hit take profit 2. You can, but it's very risky. I just wouldn't do it. Once you've hit your take profit 1, you've made your money, and then that's it. If you set the market up to hit take profit 2, once you hit take profit 2, it will be closed, and so on. Okay, but I really just want to go over how this is a crypto session. So I really just want to go over how to actually take this trade again, right? So guys, please pay attention. I want you guys to all follow along. I want to make sure you guys are all with me on this, because it may be a lot of information if you're brand new, okay? So I'm going to delete all these drawings, right? We're going to start again, okay? And we're going to go back to the trade idea. If by any chance you have like an old trade idea on the app, just refresh it. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing for a sec because it's a little bit delayed. I want to make sure you guys are following on. Okay, so definitely try and go into the app, guys. Go into the app and refresh it so you can get the most recent trade idea, because we're just going to go ahead and look at the most recent trade idea, right? The first thing that you want to do when you're opening up the app is check the chat. Okay, you want to check the chat just to see, can I take this trade idea? Because the most recent trade idea that came out I believe it was 1 day ago. So you're probably thinking, is this trade idea too old for me to take or not, right? But let's check the chat and see what the chat says. So we press the chat icon. Okay, you press the chat icon and we can see the two most recent messages from Nick Gomez is XRP USD remains valid unless a 4-hour close or open below prior 4-hour local low. I know that's a lot of words. Really, he's just saying XRP USD remains valid. This trade idea is still valid unless it closes below our stop loss that we made, but we're going to do it anyway so we can see how it all works. So we've been given the green light. XRP USD remains valid. Let's go ahead and get ready to take this trade, right? Press the back icon. And then we press the tick icon so we can expand the trade. And now we can see pair. We know exactly what we're going to be trading with. The first thing we're looking at is pair. We know we're trading with XRP USD. The next thing we want to look at is the time frame, because we're going to be doing some marking up, nothing too advanced. We want to look at the time frame so we know that we're using it on the right time frame. The order type, this is a buy idea, so we know we're buying, right? And we're not selling. Idea type is leverage ideas and not exchange or scalper. So it's leverage ideas. Now we know the general information, what we're looking for. I'm just going to go ahead, go on to MetaTrader 4. I'm going to select XRP USD, press chart, and make sure that H4 is selected, that we're on the 4-hour time frame, right? So go on to the top left and click the 4-hour time frame. Okay. Okay, if your MT4 doesn't have shape, do you have Android? Let me know. Do you have an Android? And we can look into that. Okay, so now we can see the actual price action. We can see the chart, right? So we got the basic information. So now we need 3 things, right? We need our entry point, we need our stop loss, and we need our take profit. 3 things: entry point, stop loss, take profit, right? So the way we're going to get that information is from the market images and the notes, right? That's where we're going to get all of our information. So let's go ahead and click on the market images first, so we can see our entry point. Right, so our entry point is this green box. It's our green zone, our safe zone, right? And it's indicated by an arrow that the market is going up, right? So what is literally being depicted here is we need to enter within this zone. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just so I can see a clearer picture of where this zone starts and where the zone ends, right? So it's completely up to, interpretation, but what I can see is that this zone starts at 0.756. Pen is not working. All right, the zone starts at 0.756, right? And ends at 0.78137. 0.781. Great. So now I've got my entry zone, my green zone. I'm going to go onto MetaTrader 4 and I'm just going to mark that up, okay? So you're going to press the shapes icon, right? And you press the line, the horizontal line, and you tap the chart, okay? Anybody who doesn't have a shape icon and is using an Android and knows where the shapes icon is, can you just assist in the chat? If you're using an Android and you know where the shapes icon is, please assist in the chat. If not, we'll just go over it in another video. Okay, so we've got our line here. We're going to go back onto the shapes icon and we're going to manually change the price, right? So just tap on current symbol And where it says point, that's where we're going to change it. So the first level that I'm going to put in is 0.756, right? And it's going to add all the extra zeros. And then press, I'm going to change this to green because it's our green zone. And then press done. So now we've got the bottom end. Is it the bottom end or the top? I think it's the bottom end of our zone, right? We're going to go back to the shapes icon, press our horizontal line, tap the chart, okay? And then we're going to go back to the shapes icon and we're going to manually edit the point, manually edit the price. So it's going to be the last symbol, right? Tap that and we're putting in 0.7135, 0.78135, sorry guys, 0.78135, right? Once that's correct, guys, put in done. So now we can see our entry zone, right? We've got our green entry zone, right? So now we know when the market is within this zone, we are safe to enter, okay? Now, the first thing is down. The second thing we need is our take profit, okay? How we get that is we're going to go back to the chart and we're looking at the market images, right? And our take profit is really clearly indicated here on the chart. I mean, it's literally those three zones, those three levels in the market. So we're going to zoom all the way in just so we can see. We've got, this is our take profit 1, 0.8, our take profit 2, 0.3, and our take profit 3, I don't know why I keep saying that, it's 0.8, 0.83, and our take profit 3 is 0.86, okay? So now we know our three levels that we need to mark out. So we're going to go back to MetaTrader 4 and we're going to get that shapes icon again and get out a horizontal line, right? And we'll just tap in, we'll tap anywhere on the chart, go back, manually edit, and I'm changing this to 0.8. I'm making it pink so we can clearly see that this is our take profit level 1. Okay, so we've got our first one down. The next one, go into the horizontal line, tap the chart, and we're going to go ahead and manually enter. And I can't remember what it is. It's 0.83. Okay, and then press done. Let me just let my phone catch up. Okay. Then we're going to go and get the horizontal line again. Okay. And our last take profit is 0.86. Yeah. So we're going to change that to 0.86. And then press done. Right. So now we can clearly see our entry zone. We can see our take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3. So we know now once we've entered into the market that we're literally just waiting for the market to hit the zone 1, zone 2, or zone 3, depending on what you have selected. Okay. Now we want to know our stop loss. So to know our stop loss, we're going to go ahead back into the app and we just want to look at our notes because let me make something clear. Nick Gomez is not going to indicate the stop loss on the market images. That's going to be on the notes. So you want to scroll down and look at the notes and it says invalidation level will be the last local low on the 4-hour, right? So invalidation level means that this trade idea is going to be invalid at this level, meaning we're not going to take this trade any further past this level. Okay, so the invalidation level is the last local low, which is the most recent, the most recent low point below our entry zone. It's the most recent low point below our entry zone, right? So I'm going to get the red line. I'm going to get the line out. I'm just going to tap it there because I can see here, most recently below our actual green zone is this low right here. At 0.7 it was. Okay, 0.7. So that is the most recent low. That's the lowest low, the most recent lowest low, right? Okay, so and again, I did say to you guys, you can choose to use the end of the wick, the middle of the wick, the candle body, again, it's completely up to you how risk adverse you want to be, right? So again, just to explain, if this trade idea hits or goes past this 0.7 line, this is no longer a trade that we want to trust, no longer a trade we want to use, right? So let me just change this line, make it red so we know, and then save. So this is what your chart should be looking like, right? You've got your entry zone, which is our green safe zone. We've got our take profit 1 in pink, take profit 2, and take profit 3. And then we've got our stop loss in red. So now we've got all the information we need to actually enter in the trade. So what we do now is we press the trade icon on the top right? We want to make sure that our lot size is the right lot size. So we're using a 0.1 lot size, right? We're using a 0.1 lot size. We don't want to go any higher. Okay. Our stop loss is 0.7, right? Our stop loss is 0.7 as we marked out on the chart. Our take profit, I'm going to use take profit 2 this time. And I think take profit 2 was 0.83. So I'm going to use 0.83 as my take profit. Now I just want to check everything is correct. We've got 0.7 as my stop loss, 0.83 as my take profit. And now I want to buy market, right? Press buy, and now we're in the trade. Okay, now we're in the trade. If you go into the trade section, you can see your open trades, right? You can see all your open trades. As I explained before, you would be in a negative if you just got into the trade. That's normal, right? So don't be alarmed if you see yourself in a negative. That's pretty normal until you recover the spread, right? So again, if you do want to close your trade, swipe left, press the tick icon and press close with a loss, right? And that is it, guys. That is literally how you get into the trade using the most recent updates on the trade. Let me know if you have any questions, guys, on anything we've gone over. As I said, guys, we're going to keep going over this until it begins to click. But what would really benefit you guys is if you definitely educate yourself using the materials in the platform. Okay, so I'm going to go through the questions quickly, and then I'm going to show you some stuff that you can use to educate yourself. Okay. I've just downloaded my SwipeCoin, clicked on skip/close. Now I'm here on username and password platform. I'm stuck. So you need to enter your username, your password, select the agreement, and then sign in. How long are the trade ideas valid for? Is this determined by the trade time frame? So the validity of the trade ideas is not determined by the time frame. It's just determined by how the market moves, literally. If the market moves past our invalidation level, that trade idea is no longer valid. But this is not time-based trading, right? This trade can go on for as long or as little as possible. It depends on the movements in the market. It depends on the volatility in the market. So this trade idea will either shoot up or it will take a little bit of a while to come out of our entry zone. So there's no specific time frame that these trade ideas are valid. And sometimes, even when the trade idea hits take profit 1, 2, or 3, we can actually revisit this trade idea if it hits our zone again. So just be aware that sometimes we can actually use trade ideas multiple times. Okay, so for the individuals who have an Android, the shapes icon will show on landscape mode. So thank you so much for helping out with that. Please explain again how to check the stop loss. You're not able to trade using an Android phone. You're definitely able to trade on an Android phone. The green section is your take profit. The red section is your stop loss if you're entering in the actual trade. But you just have to get familiar with it. Anyone who has an Android can advise as well, but there's also a video on the platform that shows you exactly how to use it on an Android, but you can definitely trade on an Android phone, definitely. So stop loss is literally the area in the market that you don't want to lose any more money, because as long as the trade is going your way, right? As long as your trade is going your direction, you're good, right? You're making money. But when the trade starts to reverse and you start to lose money, you would need some protection. And the reason for that is you don't want to be losing a large amount of money. You would much rather lose a small amount of money in comparison to a large amount of money. So what the stop loss does is it stops you from losing any more money in the market. Because let's say in the event that this trade completely reverses and hits our hits this area, this 0.7 area, and continues going down, you would lose a whole lot more money than if you just came out of the market at 0.7. So the stop loss is there to give you some safety in your particular trade. So the 4 hours can be running with one buy, or I can make multiple buys in that 4 hours. You can make as many trades as you want, depending on how much money is in your account. If you don't have enough money in your account to place loads of trades, then you obviously can't take too many trades. But the 4 hour chart has no bearings on the amount of trades that you can take. The 4 hour chart just allows you to analyze. Let's remember that the 4 hours just represent how long the candles are there for. You can change this time frame to M15, it'll still be the same information. You can change it to D1, it's still the exact same information, but it's just represented differently, right? So the time frame of the chart has no bearings on exactly how long you're going to be in the trade for. Okay, great. So I'm going to show you guys some videos. Who actually remembers me? How do you change your leverage? I believe it depends on the broker. Some brokers don't allow you to change your leverage when you set up your account, so you may have to make a brand new account. Okay, so who remembers me saying in the last session about homework? Who remembers me saying about some homework in the last session? Drop a 1 in the chat if you remember me saying anything about some homework in the last session. Drop a 1 in the chat. The chat is very quiet. So nobody remembers the important things, of course. Of course, you guys don't remember. Okay, guys, I highly recommend you guys make sure that you are plugging in to the system, because this is literally where you'll get all the information, right? I'm going to give you guys some source right now. I'm going to show you where you need to start pretty much if you're not very experienced in trading. If you're not very experienced in SwipeCoin and you want to get some of the basics down, I'm going to give you some source right now, okay? So take some notes. This is homework for the next session, because we're going to go over some of the concepts in these sessions that I'm going to show you. Right, so the first thing that you want to do is go on to im.center, right? Go on to im.center. So let me just type it in just so you can see. Right, there you go. So go into im.center, make sure that you go ahead and log in. And then you're going to press this book. And then you're going to scroll down to learn digital currency leverage. So this is especially for any new people who are not familiar with the information that I'm showing you. Press enroll, and you've got an entire course here. I highly recommend just going through that entire course, right? You've got a whole course, go through all of it, educate yourself on all of this information, and it will make it so much easier. Yeah, these courses are really, really good, and they're short. I've actually calculated it, and if you was to bang it out, it would take you like 4 hours to complete the whole course. So please do complete the entire course, and it will support you in this. It will make this so much easier. It's got a lot of the concepts in there that I've just gone over. So definitely go over this. This is homework for next week. Either complete the whole thing or as much as possible, and then we're going to go over it next week so we can make sure we're fully educated on some of the information that's on there, because it literally pertains to what we're seeing on SwipeCoin, right? So highly recommend. It's called im.center. So you can see it on my screen. I'm going to type it in the chat. im.center, learn digital currency leverage. Okay, and that's the course you need to enroll into. Start there, guys. This is the basic information. So, and it's really, really well explained. So this is for everyone, not just new people, even old people who haven't actually done this before. Just go ahead and do that, guys. Great, I've sent the link in the chat. But that is me, guys. Are there any questions before I go ahead and hop off? Let me know if you guys have any questions. Drop them in the chat. Any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer. Okay. Guys, if you've learned something new, if you're feeling good about the things you've learned, drop some sevens in the chat if you guys have learned something new today. If you guys are feeling confident in the things you've learned, let me know. Drop some sevens in the chat, guys. Great, 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 great. I love it. I love it. That's great. I'm so happy that you guys are taking in this information, and we're going to keep going over it. We're going to keep going over it until you guys are understanding it. So, guys, this session is being recorded, so I'm going to send over the recording to the chat. If you're not in the main chat, please do ask your mentor to send it over to you guys. But guys, have an amazing, amazing evening. You're not able to log into the SwipeCoin app, please do speak to your mentor if you're having difficulties logging into the app, maybe an issue with your password or username. But guys, have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for paying attention. I cannot wait to see you guys again next week. And don't forget to go over that information that I showed you guys. All right, guys, have a great evening. Take care, guys. Bye.